All right, so we're diving into the world of technical sales representatives today,
Okay.
and we've got some really interesting materials to unpack.
Sounds good.
It's a career that seems to need a unique blend of, I don't know, like sales charisma mixed with genuine tech fluency. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good way to put it, actually.
Right.
It's that intersection that really makes this role so interesting, right? Because a technical sales representative, they're not just pushing a product, right? They're kind of like, they're a bridge
Yeah.
between this complex technology that their company have and, what the customer actually needs and
Yeah.
making sure they can both, speak the same language.
It's like, when you're the tech person in your group of friends and everyone's always coming to you to fix their printer
Yeah.
or figure out their Wi-Fi.
Exactly. It's kind of like that, except instead of helping your friends on the weekend, you're guiding businesses towards these solutions
Yeah.
and, making a career out of it.
Exactly. And just like being that, reliable friend who can explain things, communication is key.
Yeah.
Like you could be the most amazing coder in the world, right?
Right.
But if you can't get those technical details across to the customer in a way they understand,
Yeah.
the sale just won't
Really
happen.
not going to work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this guide really emphasizes that. Like you need that active listening,
Yeah.
that clear communication.
It's interesting, too, because this guide lists all these other titles for the same kind of role, like sales engineer, medical sales representative, and it just keeps going.
Oh, wow.
It seems like almost every industry needs this. Totally, yeah. It speaks to this larger trend, right? Like every industry is becoming more and more reliant on technology. And so those who can bridge that gap between, the technical side and the people side,
Yeah.
they're in super high demand.
It's like having a foot in two worlds.
Exactly.
And they're both really important these days.
Yeah, you got to be able to, speak tech and speak human, essentially.
Exactly. And speaking of speaking tech, let's break down what a technical sales representative actually does on a daily basis. We've got this breakdown here that goes from entry level all the way up to the senior roles.
Okay. Yeah.
What stuck out to you in terms of how those responsibilities change as you move up the ladder?
It's interesting how it seems like when you're starting out, you're doing a lot of like hands-on stuff, right? Like
Right.
giving product demos and answering client questions, which I feel like, that would be a fun way to really get to know the technology inside and out.
Yeah, it's like the ultimate training ground, right?
Yes,
You're
well.
learning the ropes, talking to clients, really getting comfortable with the ins and outs of the product.
Exactly. And then as you kind of move up, it seems like it becomes more about managing those relationships, right? Like
Right.
the guide mentioned, nurturing those long-term clients.
Yeah.
And then eventually, you're even like shaping the sales strategy for the whole company, which is pretty wild.
That's a big jump.
Yeah, it is.
It goes from, mastering the details to like
Totally.
big picture strategy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a whole different skill set almost.
It made me think of that part in the guide where they were talking about how important digital marketing is now.
Oh, yeah.
And it just made me wonder, like, are we saying that to be a technical sales rep now, you also have to be like a social media guru?
That's a good question. I don't know if it's necessarily about being a guru, but it's definitely about understanding how to use those tools.
Okay.
Because remember how we were talking about how important communication is in this role?
Yeah.
Like, that's even more true online.
Right.
Instead of reading a room, you're reading a LinkedIn profile.
Interesting.
Right. You're crafting these like compelling messages and trying to build trust through a screen, which is a whole other,
It's a whole different ballgame.
It is. It really is.
So it's not enough to just know the tech. You got to be able to translate that into something that's engaging, something that, draws people in.
Exactly. And I think it's kind of cool how it almost like elevates those sales skills,
Yeah, I see what you mean.
It's not just about like cold calls anymore. It's about like building a presence online, offering insights, becoming a thought leader, which is,
It's a whole different approach.
it is. And this guide really hints at that.
It does.
Like it's not explicitly stated, but
It's there between the lines.
yeah, it's there.
And that's a perfect segue to talk about this platform, RoleCatcher,
Mm,
because this seems like it's like tailor-made for this new era of tech sales. So we've talked about the changing landscape of tech sales, but RoleCatcher, this platform we've got here, this seems like a total game changer. What makes it so perfect for this kind of career, would you say?
It's like they designed it specifically for people trying to break into this world. I mean, think about it. Tech sales is all about showing off what, both about the tech itself and about how to
Yeah.
connect with people, right? And RoleCatcher gives you the tools to do both. Like, take their interview question database, for instance. They've got something like 120,000 questions.
Wow, that's intense.
Yeah, and they're tailored to specific roles, including, technical sales representative.
It's like having a cheat sheet for your career.
Sort of, but it's better than just giving you the answers. It's helping you understand what employers are looking for, the kinds of things they want to hear. And it's not just about prepping for interviews either. Remember how the guide mentioned those applicant tracking systems, the ATS
Oh,
things?
yeah, the AI that scans your resume.
Exactly. So it's like this algorithm deciding whether you even get your foot in the door. Well, RoleCatcher helps you decode that algorithm.
That's the part that always kind of scared me, to be honest.
Totally understandable. It feels like you're up against a robot, right?
Yeah, like how do you even compete with that?
That's the thing. You're not competing, you're strategizing. RoleCatcher shows you how to tailor your resume, your online profiles, everything, so that the ATS sees what it needs to see.
So you're basically using the system to your advantage.
Precisely. You're making sure you're speaking the robot's language so that you can get in front of the humans who actually make the hiring decisions.
Okay, that makes me feel a lot better about it.
Yeah.
So you get past the robots, you ace the interview with all your newfound knowledge. But here's what I really love. RoleCatcher doesn't stop there. Companies can actually use it to find you, right?
Exactly. That's the get discovered part. It flips the whole job hunting script. Instead of just sending your resume into the void, you're basically raising your hand in a room full of recruiters saying, hey, I'm here, I've got the skills, come talk to me.
It's like going from hoping someone notices you to making sure they can't miss you.
Exactly. And in a competitive field like tech sales, that can make all the difference.
So what I'm hearing is you bring the passion. You bring the drive to succeed in this world, and RoleCatcher gives you the tools and the connections to make it happen.
It's like that extra boost you need to navigate this landscape, which, let's be honest, can be pretty overwhelming.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's a lot to take in, but that's why we do these deep dives, right?
Absolutely. We break it down, give you the insights, and hopefully by the end of it, you're feeling more confident, more prepared to go after what you want.
And for anyone listening who's feeling that pull towards tech, who loves the idea of bridging that gap between these amazing innovations and the people who need them, well, I hope this conversation has shown you what's possible.
It's a career that's constantly evolving, just like technology itself, but that's part of what makes it so exciting. And with the right tools and the right mindset, there's no limit to what you can achieve.
It's about finding that intersection between passion and innovation.
Exactly. And maybe, just maybe, RoleCatcher is that missing piece of the puzzle.
The key to unlocking that potential. Well said.
Thanks. This was fun.
Always a good time talking tech and careers.